And yes, we're about to see something that flies, but not quite an airplane.
Today we are at the Air and Space Museum going to look at a real Star Wars
X-Wing
X-Wing.
that they have on loan from Lucasfilm,
Mm-hmm.
and they're restoring it. And it's going to be here at the Dulles Airport Udvar Hazy Air and Space Museum for restoration.
Yeah.
And then I think they're going to take it to the DC location and it's going to be on exhibit.
Yeah.
So we're here at our check-in time at 4:30. Got here just a little before. Usually parking is free if you get here after 4, but it's timed entrance, so I'm not 100% sure that it's going to be free parking. We'll see when we get ready to leave. But as you look at the parking lots, they're not very full. I think their timed entrance is working out okay. See how busy it is in here. It's a very large facility though. The grand scale of this place is just immense. They have huge airplanes, multi-levels. I think they said it was something like 6 stories tall, which is hard to imagine when you're standing in here because it's just such a big open space. And here we have what I believe is still the fastest plane on Earth, SR-71A Blackbird, made by Lockheed Martin. You might remember the Transformers movie, which was filmed in part here, where this plane transformed. As cool as this is, we're hoping to see an even faster plane from a galaxy far, far away.
Where's the Star Wars ship?
We are heading to the back. I think the Star Wars ship is where they are doing the restorations. It's in like a special section.
Ooh, wow. Fancy.
And here's a piece of history. It's none other than the Apollo 11 command module, sitting here all by itself. We're getting into the space section. As cool as this is, it's not exactly what we're here for, though. Attached for Apollo 11, and we just saw the control module outside. And here we have the Space Shuttle Discovery and its own wing with other spacecraft and satellites and missiles and rockets. It's really hard to imagine how big these space shuttles are until you're standing only a couple feet from them. When you see them standing vertically with the rockets attached on the stand, I don't know what the launch equipment's called, the perspective's a little different. But here you can see each tile that makes up the body and the fuselage area and the nose. The wings seem small in comparison to the rest of the craft. If you think of a normal aircraft, you think of the wings being super long. Lots of ground clearance too. Mission highlights of the Discovery. Looks like its first mission was in 1984. And no, these are not the droids we're looking for. These are Mars exploration rovers. Obviously duplicates. I don't believe they bring them back from Mars, and I don't think they would look quite this clean. But this might be the droid that we're looking for. An R2-D2 Postal Service collection box. Now, it says it's one of 400 mailboxes that were dressed as R2-D2. Beginning March 2007, the mailboxes appeared in select locations in all 50 states and Puerto Rico. Something tells me we're getting closer. So just upstairs from where the Discovery is located is where they have their restoration area. And right before us is the real Star Wars X-Wing from Rise of Skywalker. Looking at the photos online, it almost appears to be Poe Dameron's. I'm pretty confident that it is. You see the wear and the paint markings? It surely looks like it. There you see one of the rockets detached. I don't see the wing. The X-Wing itself is not on this side. I can see one laying on the other side of the ship. Over there, the gray piece. But it's interesting, you can see inside of the fuselage, see how they construct it, and I didn't quite expect it to be metal. I was thinking it was probably hollow with just a fiberglass shell, sort of like a ride or something at Disney, but it's an actual structure. And you can see the cockpit there with the hatch closed. It doesn't look like there's glass in the top of it. I'm not sure if that's because when they're filming they want to get good quality images without the glare on the top. Maybe they need it on the sides. And then the hatch right there is where the R2 unit would sit. The droid would go right in the hole. We can see a ring or a hook, which may be how they transport the X-Wing. They would put a strap on either side, kind of like how they have it hooked to this crane to move it around. Maybe that comes out. They put another piece on there for decoration, or maybe they put it in afterwards. So it tells me that the whole nose section has some structure to it also. They may have the steel beams or whatever's going through the back section of it. This is quite amazing. Growing up watching Star Wars, actually seeing a ship right there, 30 feet away. You can see the circular areas, that flat section with those circles seem to match up there. I'm not sure if they bolted on from the inside. There's definitely holes for bolts to go through. We can see all of the Hollywood Lucasfilm touches to make it look like it's actually flown through space. The X-Wing seemed to have a long lifespan in the Star Wars franchise. By the time it got to the last movie, certainly had some age on it. So the X-Wing has been disassembled. What you see is one of the engines is over here on these white blocks. And one of the X-wings itself is laying under the craft there. The other X-wing is over between this and the green fuselage. It's detached also. They would attach to those metal brackets I've made out there to there. And it looks to be sitting, the front of it seems to be sitting on the landing gear of the craft, which is more of a ski or a skid system. The back is being held up by some sort of a dolly, so they can wheel it around, I imagine. Again, what's crazy is it's just sitting here with actual aircraft. Like it's something that's been flown around, it's something that's an actual plane sitting in the restoration hangar. It's just quite unreal. There's another piece. Looks like it may align with the back. So the back's open. I can sort of see daylight through there. And that's laying on the ground. I don't know what side goes where, but what's sitting on top may be the actual back, the visible back. We'll have to look when we get home, pull it up online.
In terms of the legacy of this airplane, the Army Air Forces saw it as an important aircraft. So rather than sending it to the scrap heap and the wake of war.
Alright, so we got a new angle on the craft. You can see more of the landing gear and the nose. You can see how the engines are attached also. That one's hanging there with the circular metal part that I was talking about, the metal part with circles. And then there's the X-wing closed, sitting under the plane, under the craft. Then where's the other one? It's kind of hiding over there, underneath all the tools and tables. Get a good perspective of how big this is. To be a movie prop, it's definitely life size. It looks just like an aircraft. I always like behind the scenes tours and shots, so I thought I'd give you a brief view of what tools they may be using. I don't know if they are, but here's kind of the arrangement of the shop. Provide a complete record of the restoration. Oh, and what's that? Is that Evel Knievel's motorcycle? That's Evel Knievel's motorcycle, just sitting there in a pallet. Oh my goodness. Glad we walked over here. You're just seeing crazy things just like everywhere. Take one last shot around, look at the tools and the setup that they have going on near the X-wing. Another shot down the fuselage. You can match up the wear patterns and the colorization maybe to one in the movie. Again, the X-wings are laying there on the ground. Be very cool to see this when it's fully restored and it's at the Air and Space Museum in DC.
If you want to come here, then please like this video.